I think the binary division between Western media and Indian media no longer exists for a good reason. Because it's not a question of who's from the West and who's from India. It's a question for who's batting for Indian interests. That is what ultimately matters. Because there are several people, several journalists in the West who are willing to speak the truth about Bharat and who do not share the colonial cynicism of the rest of their Western compatriots. Similarly, there are several people from Bharat who are more than happy to be lackeys of anti-Indian mouthpieces from the West. That's a fact. So therefore, I'm not interested in this binary argument anymore. During COVID, there were several fantastic Twitter handles from the West which were actually reporting on the kind of measures that a country such as Bharat, the scale of its population, was undertaking to provide resources to its people, while people within were constantly pulling us down. Now here is the interesting part. Mr. Kulkarni rightly points out, and I would say significantly that holds good, that Western media, including Hollywood so to speak, has managed to push the Western agenda as much as possible. It's unfortunate that we are aping everything wrong from the West aspect, but we are not doing it as far as this issue is concerned. And then when we say that there are certain portions of the media, there are certain segments of the media who seem to be comfortable constantly pulling India down, we are then accused of being anti-free speech. Okay, so we are being told that free speech is effectively under challenge because mercantile interests are holding them to ransom. Why don't we speak of political parties owning channels? In the South, business interests and media interests merge and they're controlled by parties. You want a standing example? The Sun Group owned by the DMK, which has been a partner not just to the Congress, but also to the BJP. Because after all, the Commerce Minister during Mr. Vajpayee's tenure, who was leading India in the Doha negotiations with respect to World Trade Organization, was Murasoli Maran from DMK. Neither party deemed it fit to crack down on the holding of media interests by political interests or political organizations. That has never happened. Why just the DMK? Jayalalitha also owned Jaya TV, which continues to be run by the ADMK. I would say it's much better for a mercantile interest to own, let's say, a media organization as opposed to a political interest, because there's a serious conflict of interest on both sides. That's a discussion that we don't seem to be having here. Now, ghoom phir ke abhi baat jo hai, it has become about only the Congress and the BJP. I would say at this point, members who are listening to this should actually say we are sick and tired of this nonsense. We'd like to actually have a discussion which goes beyond the BJP and the Congress.